It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth a hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl. The two teams you're about to meet have won previously, and today's winner moves on to become the second of the final four in the elementary competition. Robert Goddard is the first. Who will be the second? It's one of these teams. Let's meet them right now. First, from Rogers Heights Elementary School, would you please welcome to our program Juan Hernandez, Shri Rutala, and David Menendez. And from University Park Elementary, say hello to Nathan Widman, Kay Tornquist, and Kazumi Haig. Now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board, it shows question difficulty with the easier ones on the left worth 5 and 10 points, tougher questions 15, 20, ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points, no penalties for any incorrect answers. Enter the 2 rounds today, we will have the second of our final 4 semifinalists in our competition. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Cherie, would you try that red team buzzer? And it seems to work and sound good. Good luck to you, David and to Juan. And Kate, how about the green teams? A-OK over there as well. Good luck to you, Nathan, and to Kazumi. Congratulations, guys, on making it this far in the competition. Let's have a great game. We go alphabetically R before you, so Rogers Heights and Cherie, let's play this game.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for? 15 points. All right, to start this game, teams, this yellowish metal that is an alloy between copper and zinc has what same name as the horn section in the orchestra? Rogers Heights.
Brass?
The brass, yeah, that's it. Thank you, David. Go red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. All right, teams. The opposite of the blood vessel known as the superior vena cava is the what vena cava?
Inferior.
Rogers Heights.
Inferior? Inferior?
Inferior is the opposite of superior. You got that right. Yeah, if you prepare for this show, I tell you to make sure you study prefixes and suffixes and opposites. You're doing that well. Go red.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, the sex of reptiles that are born from eggs that have been buried is determined by the temperature at which the eggs do this.
Hatch?
Rogers Heights.
Hatch?
Not hatch. The temperature at which the eggs do this that are buried determines the sex of reptiles that reproduce that way, Kate.
Incubate.
Incubate. Yes, ma'am. Good answer. Go. Green.
Science Potpourri for 5 points.
Potpourri for 5. Teams, we human beings, we don't really corrode or oxidize, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, when they had 2 weeks off between playoff games, they said, we're getting a little what? A little what, Rogers Heights?
Rusty?
Rusty, yeah, they're getting a little rusty. And they were a little rusty. All right, go, red.
Science Potpourri for 15. Science Potpourri for 15.
Science Potpourri for 15 points. All right, teams, the amount of carbon dioxide in the air presently is 405 ppms, which is double what it was prior to the Industrial Revolution. ppm stands for what? Parts per million. Try again, please. Green. Is green correct here? Yes. Yes. Go again, Kate.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Numerical answer, teams. Saturn is the 6th planet in our solar system, but it has this many rings lettered from A to G. University Park.
7.
7, that's right. Nathan's on his fingers there. A, B, C, D, E. That works. 7 rings. Good. Go green.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, in fairy tales, groups of trees growing together are often called an enchanted what? Rogers Heights.
A forest.
An enchanted forest. That's right. Good. Go. Shri.
Dateline signs for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, recently in Japan, they cloned 2 monkeys. First primates ever. And the first animals cloned from... Yes, Kate? Sheep, that's right. Since Dolly the sheep back in 1996 from somatic cells, which are body cells. All right. 85 to 95. Go University Park.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. The rate that we pay for electricity now, on average, is 13 cents per kW hour. What does kW stand for when we're talking about electricity?
Kilowatt.
Kilowatt, that's right. 13 cents per kilowatt hour. All right, 95 to 95. Tie score. Go green.
Body systems for 5 points.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if you get nudged sharply, someone is jamming this body part into your side. University Park.
Elbow.
You get elbowed, yeah. Cut it out, cut it out. Okay, go green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, because the buds on this green vegetable look like they're about to flower, we call this vegetable Brussels what?
Sprouts.
Sprouts it is. That's it. Go, Shri, red.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, because magnolia trees keep their leaves all year round. University Park.
Evergreen or coniferous.
Ooh, you're gonna hate yourself here. Red team, because magnolia trees keep their leaves all year round, they are not these kinds of trees.
Deciduous.
Deciduous, absolutely right. Sorry about that, Kate. Go red.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, if you would, please. And that grasshopper belongs to an order of insects called orthopterans. Orthopterans. Is that because they have, listen, multiple choice, because they have straight wings, chewing mouth parts, or jumping legs? Why Orthoptera? Rogers Heights. Let's see if you studied your prefixes and suffixes. Rogers Heights, what's your answer? What you got?
Pass it to David.
Chewing mouths.
Not chewing mouth parts. University Park, Orthoptera, the order to which this grasshopper belongs, is because they have straight wings, chewing mouth parts, or jumping legs.
Straight wings.
Straight wings, absolutely. Ortho means straight, terra means wing. That buzzer means our first half is over and we ended a tie, 120 all. We'll be back with more Science Bowl in just a moment. Welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you here today. 2 great teams, and boy, that number says it all. 120. 120 for Rogers Heights, 120 for University Park. We'll break that tie in a moment. But first of all, let's find out a little bit about our teams and our schools. Rogers Heights, tell us about Rogers Heights. Where is that, Shri?
Rogers Heights is in Bladensburg.
Bladensburg, that's right. And I think you told me previously that you got an award from the mayor of Bladensburg, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. We'll find out about, well, tell me about that. What'd you get the award for?
Well, I got the award because I wrote like a very good speech on like what the flag means to me.
Wow. You have a very good speaking voice. You're very articulate. I can see why you won that award.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's your principal there, Shri?
Our principal is Dr. Bottoms.
Wonderful. Barbara Bottoms over there, big fan of the Science Bowl. And the coach of your team?
Mr. Pippin.
Mr. Pitpit, Gonzalo Pitpit. And boy, he is agonizing over this. He has prepared you guys so well, and we thank you, Gonzalo, for all that you've done for this team here and for Rogers Heights. Alternates on your team, Shri?
Our alternates that could be here are Kennedy and Howell, but the alternates that could not be here are Jorge, Aria, Jonathan, and Joshua. And
That's a long list, and you're remembering all of them. Did he leave any of them out?
Leslie. Yeah, Leslie.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much. Something about Rogers Heights that you'd like to brag about?
Well, I like to brag about the teachers and our test scores too.
Yeah, and test scores. Yeah, the teachers are great. They have fun. They also are committed to you guys, and so you couldn't ask for better advocates. They couldn't ask for better students. Tell me about yourself, Sheree. Someday you're going to?
Be an astronaut.
An astronaut, yeah. You're going to be a real honor, a real asset to NASA someday. David, nice to have you here today. Tell us someday.
I want to be a engineer for the military.
Why the military?
Just so that in case anything bad does happen to happen.
Absolutely. We want to have good people like you in place. Is the military a tradition in your family? Have other members been part of it?
I don't believe so.
So you would be the first one. You'd start a new tradition. You're a good player. Juan, nice to have you here today. You want to be a cardiologist, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, and you just want, because heart disease is one of the leading killers in this world. So anything we can do to keep people alive longer, you're going to want to do. What do you do in your spare time, Juan?
I read books and play games and help my mom.
Wow, you're a good son. What kind of books do you like to read?
Non-fictional books.
Yeah, so historical books then sometimes?
Mostly about science.
That's science. Well, you're in the right place. You're a good scientist. Nice to have you back. University Park, nice to have you guys here with your matching shirts over there. University Park Elementary School Science Bowl in the tradition of your wonderful coach, Mr. Jeff Favero, who always designs those great shirts for you guys. Who's your principal, Kate?
Toy Davis.
That's right. She's been there for a couple of years now. And alternates on your team, you got about 6 of them, don't you? All right. First names only. Here we go.
We have Franz, Ruby, Gabe, Paul, Hadassah, and Emily.
You got them all. They were listening for their names too, because they are integral parts of your team, and we'll bring them out in just a few moments, just like we will the ones that are here for Rogers Heights. Something neat about your school, I know every year you do a tribute to Dr. Seuss on Read Across America Day with green eggs and ham. Have you guys eaten the green eggs?
Yeah,
and
but
ham?
it's K
Yeah,
through
it's
second,
K through
we don't
second.
do it.
We don't.
But when we did it, they were not very good.
I was about to say, they look not very appetizing, and I think that's the whole point of it. If you try it, though, it's not too bad, but not a steady diet. Tell me something that you like to do in your spare time, Kate.
I like to sing, and I like to bake too.
Wow. Did you bake us any cookies today?
No.
We could have given you an extra 50 points. No, I'm just joking. But we do love cookies here. You want to be an actress someday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you are going to be in the play this year. You're playing
Mrs. Darling.
in Peter Pan, right? Yeah. And Kazumi, you're in Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And your role is?
A pirate.
Pirate, yeah. Are you practicing your pirate accent?
Yes.
Yes. Do you sing?
Yes.
You sing. All right. So you got a lot of talent over there. Would you like to be a professional actress like Kate, or are you thinking about something else?
I want to run my own restaurant and be an executive chef.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. What kinds of food might you serve at that restaurant? Would it be American cuisine or French cuisine?
Probably either French or Italian.
Or Italian, yeah. You can't go wrong with Italian service. People love pasta. I bet you're good. Nathan, nice to have you here today. Tell us a Nathan story. Someday you're going to?
Well, I would like to be an Olympic swimmer and a pediatrician.
Wow, wow. I know about the pediatrician and Olympic swimmer. You swim 6 days a week, don't you?
Yes.
At the University of Maryland swimming pool?
Yep.
Yeah. What is your best swimming stroke?
Breaststroke.
Breaststroke, all right. Well, the Winter Olympics are coming up, but the Summer Olympics not too far away. So when would be the first Olympics you could compete?
Probably 2028.
Yeah, the next Michael Phelps right here, folks. Nathan. All right, let's get back to the game. 120 UP, 120 RH. Lots of points to give away. Last correct answer came from the green team. So, Kate, would you start us out?
For 5.
Zoop prayed for 5 points. Teams, this animal needed to check his respirator when he couldn't blow down the pig's house of bricks. University Park.
The wolf.
The big bad wolf, that's right. Not the big bad wolf. Hey, yeah, he was petted. Too bad. Go. Green.
Dateline Science for 5 points.
Dateline Science for 5 points. Teams, the chemists Michael Faraday and Jacob Berzelius are credited with coming up and inventing this most identifiable piece of glassware in a laboratory. Rogers Heights.
A flask?
Not a flask. University Park. A test tube is right. Yes, go green.
Let's get physical for 5 points.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, what same word means the chemical calcium oxide and a green citrus fruit? Rogers Heights.
Lime?
Lime, yeah, you spread lime on your lawn. That's calcium oxide. Red, go.
Body systems for 20.
Body assistance for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please, and please meet Chang and Eng, the original Siamese twins. It was said at the time that they were joined at the hip. They were not. They were joined, as you can see, at this bone that is the anchoring point. Kate?
The shoulder.
Not the shoulder, no. If you look at Chang and Eng there, Rogers Heights, those two twins are joined at this bone that is the meeting point for ribs.
The sternum.
The sternum, absolutely right, of the breastbone. Thank you, David. Good assist there. Go, red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, the millibars on a barometer let meteorologists know if this is rising or falling. Rogers Heights. Scott.
The air pressure?
Air pressure is right. Yes, indeed. I heard Juan whispering it all the way over here. Go again, red.
Okay, dateline signs for 15.
Dateline signs for 15 points. Teams, Yuri Gagarin did for Russia what John Glenn did for us. University Park.
He was the first person in space. On the moon.
Not quite, not quite. Rogers Heights, Yuri Gagarin did for Russia what John Glenn did for this country. Both of them did what? What you got? They orbited the Earth. They don't just not just the first people in space, they orbited the Earth. Go red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, during the Crusades, the soldiers had to worry about the Black Death, the bubonic plague. But the University Park.
Pastor Kazumi.
Kazumi, what do you want to tell me?
A disease caused by fleas.
That would be true, but I was going somewhere else.
Oh.
The people, good try. The Crusaders had to worry about the Black Death, whereas the men who were building the Panama Canal had to worry about this fever.
Yellow fever?
Yellow fever. You caught my drift. We wanted colors there. Go red.
Body assistance for 10.
Body assistance for 10 points. Teams, in the animated movie The Little Mermaid, the sea witch Ursula performed a laryngectomy on Ariel by taking away her what? Rogers Heights.
Her voice?
Yes, her voice box. Good, go.
Green things for 15.
Green things, 15 points. Teams, this plant doesn't like living in the desert, but it's there because the desert hasn't killed it yet. Rogers Heights.
The cactus?
The cactus, yeah. If it had its choice, it would live somewhere else. I mean, who wants to live in a desert? Okay, go, red.
Dateline signs for 20.
Again, please.
Dateline signs for 20.
Dateline signs for 20 points. Tough question, teams. We all know about Marie Curie. She discovered the element radium. She also discovered this other element that is named for the country where she was born. Really tough question. University Park, can you give me the name of that chemical element named after the country where Marie Curie was born?
Geranium.
Good try, not germanium.
Okay.
Rogers Heights.
Californium.
Polonium. She was born in Poland. Try again, red.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Teams, the world's largest one of these creatures that ever lived was called a titanoboa.
Snake.
A snake, the biggest snake ever. Yeah, go red.
Let's get physical for 25.
The big one in that category, teams, when you see the Star Wars movie and they use the lightsabers, those are charged particles in what fourth state?
Plasma.
Plasma, that's right, the fourth state of matter. Go Rogers Heights.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25, big one in that category. Teams, carrots and spinach. Yes, University Park.
Carotene.
Not carotene, not carotene. Rogers Heights, carrots and spinach are among the plants that are known as these because they have a 2-year life cycle. What you got? They are biennials, not annuals or perennials, but biennials. 245 to 130. Okay, University Park, you got to get them all here. Rogers Heights, you pick them. Science potpourri for 25, big one in that category. 2-part question, part of which is you got to spell. In an experiment, a control that doesn't do anything, that's a sugar pill, is called one of these. Name it and spell it.
Placebo.
Yes.
Can Kazumi can spell it?
You sure can.
Placebo.
Oh, almost. Rogers Heights. Go.
Pass it to David.
David.
Placebo and PLACEBO.
Bingo. Got it. Yes. Nicely done. Go red.
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline Science for 25 points. Teams, there are two astronauts, Scott and Mark, who are identical twins. Scott recently spent a year on the International Space Station. Mark stayed down here as a control. I will give you 25 points if you can give me their last name. Scott and Mark what?
Kelly.
Kelly. That's it. Good. Go.
Zoo Parade for 25.
Zoo Parade for 25 points. Teams, when a marsupial, like an opossum, gives birth, it doesn't give birth to a fully formed baby. It's not even a fetus. It's one of these that is born, Rogers Heights.
Embryo?
An embryo, exactly right. It crawls up into the pouch, nurtures before it is finally born. Last question of the game. Body systems for 25 points is as follows. You probably never thought about this. You probably didn't know your body did this. But when your eyes move, so do your tympanums, which is another name for these. Come on, University Park, let's go.
Your irises?
Not your irises, good try. When your eyes move, so too do your body's tympanums. Another name for your whats?
Ears?
More.
Outer ear?
Good try. Eardrums. Eardrums. It looks like we've used up all the questions. Yes? That was the 25-point question, correct? Yes. Yes. And we will be back with a wrap-up for this game in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back. We are proud to say that the second of our 4 finalists with a score today of 320 points is the team from Rogers Heights. Congratulations to Juan and Shri and David. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Standing back there also are Kennedy and Howa and Mr. Pit-Pit. Congratulations. You'll be playing Robert Goddard in the semifinals. And let's get a round of applause for University Park for Nathan and Kate and Kazumi. Super game, as well as look at the double teams back there that they scrimmage against. Ruby and Chris and Franz and Amelie and Hadassah and Gabe and Mr. Favero, who always sends us terrific teams. Also the best dressed teams. No offense over there. Thank you for being here today. Hope to see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye-bye now.